Except it truly is. It's dying, and it is going to continue to die if things don't shift. The city of Vegas is panicking right now and has stooped low enough to push garbage propaganda like this just to persuade us that nothing is wrong. We just have to trust the corporate titans of the Strip, who obviously made it so much better these last few decades with their resort fees, parking fees, and having too much fun fees. Yeah, right. It speaks volumes that many folks are even saying we ought to bring back the good old days when the mob was controlling Vegas. At least they possessed the decency to drain money from us while we were playing the games we enjoyed and not nickel and dime us for just existing and breathing the dry Mojave air.
And here's the
Vegas
irony.
is definitely not what it once was.
Dominated.
A part of my drive for creating this channel was to honor the good old days of Vegas. And the reason I was so driven to do that is because it is perfectly clear now that Vegas is nothing like it once was. I have worked here for years, but it is not just me who thinks this. In this video, I will be sharing the viewpoints of 5 different Vegas residents now working in the dystopian corporate hellscape known as the Vegas Strip, people I've known for a while and have been corresponding with via email. Just hear their stories and what they're saying, and tell me if that aligns in any way, shape, or form with the news clip I just showed.
Affordability also
Vegas
plays a
was once for everybody. I began cocktailing at the Mirage back in 2008. In those days, it didn't matter which night of the week it was. The floor was always packed. You could sense the energy before you even punched in. It was wild in the best possible way. The slots were bright. People were loud laughing, cheering, or swearing. Everybody from the newlyweds in their 20s to the retirees in their 60s arrived in Vegas with real hope in their eyes. I used to pull $300 in tips on a Tuesday, no problem. That was without even trying. Guys playing $5 blackjack tossed chips like candy. One for you, sweetheart. They were giving even when they were down. You could see most of them weren't wealthy, but they had saved for this trip. It was their getaway, and they treated us like we were part of the experience.
The world no longer revolves
But in these
around
last
the Strip.
2 years, it feels like somebody just ripped the
Vegas.
soul from the Strip. I currently work at a new property, and I won't say which, but it's one of the heavy hitters on the south end. And if you are not dropping 5 figures, you are invisible.
Today, it competes directly by offering high-stakes poker
now
tournaments.
Now it's 2, sometimes only 1 if the floor is slow. And you know what? The floor is always slow now, not like it once was. You want to know what Vegas is today? It is $30 cocktails, 0 comps. Unless you bet $500 a hand, $45 parking, and resort fees added to your room rent. Everything is higher except for tips.
Loyalty to Vegas
when average
begins
folks
to
do
crack.
come, you can
And
see
if you
it
think
on their
the East
faces.
Coast is already-
They are already ticked off. They cannot believe what it costs just to be here. I had this sweet older couple the other night, maybe in their 60s. They were nice, from Iowa or someplace, and told me they hadn't come back since before the pandemic. The wife leaned close and whispered, "We figured we'd come relive the old magic, but it is different, huh?" I just smiled. What could I even say?
But for many
she was not
gamblers,
wrong.
that doesn't matter.
The saddest part,
What matters is a
management does
place
not
that's
even
close,
fake that they
affordable,
care anymore.
and entertaining.
We once had regulars, retirees, blue-collar men from the Midwest, even busloads of people from California who visited every few months. I knew their names. I knew their drinks. Now they are gone, substituted by whales from overseas tech guys and bottle service crowds and influencers snapping selfies with drinks they never actually drink. And don't even get me going on the tipping culture. This new crowd, they either look right through you, order at you like you are a servant, or tip zero. Sometimes all 3. I have had people scream because I did not bring their drink fast enough when I was covering 5 tables with no help. It is like people forgot we are human. Or perhaps they just never saw us that way to begin with. My back aches, my feet ache, and for what? Last Friday, after an 8-hour shift in heels, I left with $88 in tips. In 2014, I would have made triple that. Heck, I'd have made that in 3 hours. I once felt proud of this city. Now I just feel empty, like I'm employed at a theme park that forgot its purpose. Vegas once was about fun. You didn't need to be wealthy to feel like a high roller. You could arrive with $100 and exit with a great story. Now, unless you have got major money, the Strip does not want you. And I believe people are finally getting that message. If you are finding this content worthwhile and wish to show support, talking about the real truth of Las Vegas plus fun stories and first-hand accounts, recalling the good old days back before our beloved oasis of fun turned into a corporate hellscape. Kindly support the channel by subscribing. Our initial big goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers. We are nearly there, so your assistance would be hugely appreciated. Also, if you possess your own story about how much you've witnessed Vegas change for the worse, post a comment down below. I may just feature it in the following video where we'll examine the death of Vegas even more. Thank you for your support. Let's get to the next story. The rooms are vacant, but we are still cleaning like it is 2015. I have been a housekeeper on the Strip for 20 plus years. I started at the Riviera. May she rest in peace. And when that was demolished, I transferred to one of the large resorts on the south end. I will not name it, but you would know the Golden Towers. Initially, the change seemed like an upgrade, a bigger property, more tips, and better benefits. But today, it seems like I have walked into a gradual collapse. You want the real truth? The rooms are vacant. Not all of them, of course, but enough that it's noticeable. Entire wings that once were turned over daily are just silent now. Lights are off, sheets are untouched, and no minibar mess. It is like ghosts inhabit it now. But management will not admit that. Oh no, they wish to appear busy. So they continue to schedule us heavily. They continue to push quotas as if the Strip's booming. 12 rooms by 3 p.m. Lupe, no excuses. Meanwhile, half of those rooms have not had a guest in a week. We once took pride in the small touches, the style the towels were folded, how we might leave a mint or fluff the pillows perfectly. Now it is rush, rush, rush. No time for finesse, just sanitize, wipe spray, and go. And the terrible part, they halted daily housekeeping during COVID, but never really restored it. Unless a guest asks for it, we are not going in. This means when we at last get to clean the room after 3 or 4 nights, it is a total disaster. Trash is piled, food is left out, and stains you do not even want to know about. People use hotel rooms like dumpsters now since they know nobody is coming. And the layoffs, they are not announced. They just discreetly take names off the schedule. Maria was not here last Monday. By Thursday, her locker was cleared. No farewell, no reason. I texted her, no reply. She was here 11 years. It feels like management wants to operate this place with half the employees and double the expectations. Less workers, less benefits, more demands, and they question why morale is so terrible. We once received cash tips left on pillows almost daily. Visitors were giving families retirees the standard Vegas crowd, but they are not the ones visiting anymore. Now it is mainly young couples attempting to do everything for Instagram. They do not tip. They do not look at you, and half the time they complain to the front desk if we knock while they are hungover. I do not fault the guests completely. Vegas just is not the same. It is not inviting. It is costly, draining, and increasingly mechanical. Self-check-in, digital keys, concierge via app, fewer humans, more tech. But nobody considered what happens to the people behind it, all the ones such as me who actually keep this city operating. I am 58, too young for retirement, too old to start new. I still cherish parts of this job. The colleagues who have turned into family, the quiet moments when I am gazing out a window at the Strip. But it is not the same Vegas I began in. The heart of this city once was its people. Now it seems the Strip only values spreadsheets and whales. And let me just tell you, when the people cleaning your bed sheets feel scared, tired, and unseen, that reveals something very real about where Vegas is truly heading. The machines are tighter, and the regulars know it. You want the truth about Vegas? The house always wins. Yeah, right. But these days, the house is just downright greedy. I am a slot tech. I've been working on machines up and down the Strip for 15 years. I know these cabinets better than I know my own friends. I can tell from the sound if a machine is going to jam or if somebody tried to rig it. I once loved this job. The tinkering, the problem solving, and especially the times when someone hit a jackpot. The expression on their face when the lights went off. That made the entire shift worthwhile. But recently that celebration is missing. And it is not just in their expressions, it is in the code. See, people believe these machines are completely random. They are not. They are programmed. They are adjustable. Every slot on the floor has a payout percentage, what is called the RTP or return to player. It used to be around 92% to 95% based on the game and casino. Lately, I have seen machines programmed as low as 85%. 85. That gap might not seem huge, but over time, that is the casino just bleeding people dry. You sit at that penny machine thinking, just a few bucks. But you are not winning nearly like you once did. It is subtle. A little less payout here, a near miss there. And after some time, even the diehards see it. Do you realize how many regulars would play the identical machine each visit? I had one old guy, Bernie, who came every Saturday for 9 years. He played the same Cleopatra Gold near the escalators. I have not seen him in 6 months. I checked around. He got disgusted, said it was not enjoyable anymore, said it seemed like the machine was just draining them.
Slots,
and it is
and a
not
chance
just
to
Bernie.
win without
the comps
breaking
are way stingier. The free play has evaporated. Even the tiered rewards programs are perplexing now. You almost need a spreadsheet just to calculate if that $20 in points earns a free buffet. Spoiler, it won't. We are not repairing things anymore. We are just managing loss and frustration. The other night, a lady kicked a cabinet so hard she broke her sandal. Security arrived, but I cannot blame her. She had that expression, the one I see much more often. I came here hoping for some magic, and I just got robbed. It guts me because I want them to win. I genuinely do. I want folks to shout and laugh and high-five people they don't know. That once happened constantly. Now it is silent. Just the whir of the machines and people gazing blankly at screens. Vegas once was a place you felt like maybe, just maybe, this night was your night. But now it feels like we are in a simulation. Bright lights, huge promises, zero payout. I am not sure who makes the decisions. Corporate probably. But they are forgetting one key thing. People do not just visit to gamble. They visit to feel alive. You remove the chance, the hope, the excitement. You are just left with a huge vending machine that only takes. And eventually, people quit coming. It is not enjoyable now. It is just loud and mad. I have been serving drinks on Fremont Street for over 10 years. Began when I was 24, back when I believed bartending in Vegas was the greatest job ever. And for a time, it was. I was at the outdoor bar by the stage. The one with the inexpensive daiquiris and plastic souvenir cups. Nights were crazy, but fun. Crazy. Bachelorette groups singing along to Bon Jovi. Wasted tourists tipping $20 because they just hit $500 on craps. It seemed like the entire street was one big party and all were included. But now the atmosphere is meaner. And I am not just saying that as a bitter service worker. The crowd is different. The energy is off. Something about it just feels like a time bomb ready to explode. The drinks keep flowing. Heck, more than ever. But the people consuming them are angrier, more impatient, rude, in a style that is not just intoxicated, but entitled. Last month, a guy screamed at my face because we were out of Red Bull. Not yelled, screamed like I had personally destroyed his vacation. The tips are worse. Much worse. It used to be even broke college kids tossed you a few dollars because they valued the show. The flair, the jokes, the vibe. Now I will serve a group 6 shots, smile, tell a joke, and get stiffed. Not even a glance. And I understand. Prices are higher. A beer that once cost $4 is now $9. People feel like they are being gouged. That anger accumulates, but we are the ones who face the heat. I have seen more fights this past year than in the last 5 combined. Fistfights over a spilled drink, shouting matches because someone just bumped into someone else in the crowd. Security can hardly manage. And the worst part, the magic is dead. Fremont was once the gritty alternative to the Strip. Cheaper, tougher, but loaded with character. You would see street performers, Elvis impersonators, couples getting hitched again at 2 a.m. Now it is just influencers with ring lights blocking the path, or guys in LED suits aggressively asking for tips for photos. Last weekend, I found myself looking around and thinking, man, I do not want to be here anymore. That was scary because this job, this street, was once my pride. I adored making drinks that helped people toast something. A jackpot, a birthday, a final night out before getting married. But now it just feels so transactional cold, like we are all faking that this is still fun when everyone knows it's not. The visitors feel it. The locals absolutely feel it. And the old school regulars, they are gone. They once sat at the bar telling me tales about the Golden Nugget in the 80s. I have not seen most of them in years. One guy said he quit coming because Fremont became Bourbon Street, but without the charm. I do not know what the solution is, but I know this Vegas is not just about casinos and clubs. It is about a feeling, a bit of danger, a bit of glamour, and a ton of fun. And if that feeling is gone, then what are we really doing here? This is not the Vegas I signed up for. I have been working casino security on the Strip 19 years. I started back in '06. When I got the job, I figured I would be handling drunk tourists, the occasional small-time thief, maybe stopping a blackjack table dispute once in a while. And yeah, for a good while, that was exactly it. Long hours, but never boring. Vegas had this wild heartbeat, but it was mostly good-natured chaos. People visited here to have fun, spend cash, and let off steam. Even when stuff got wild, it seemed like part of the experience. But recently, it feels changed heavier, colder, like the happiness has been drained from the city. The strange part is it's quieter, and not in a good way. You patrol the floor at 2 a.m. on a Friday now, and half the tables are vacant. You hear the exact same slot jingles playing over and over since nobody is winning. The pit bosses seem bored. Dealers are murmuring to each other, just trying to stay awake. But despite this emptiness, my job has become more stressful because the people who are still coming, they are more desperate, more aggravated. They feel ripped off and they take it out not on the house, but on each other or us. I have had to stop fights over parking spots. I had a guy threaten to hurl a chair through the sportsbook glass because his guaranteed parlay failed. I saw a woman smack a slot machine and then her boyfriend because they lost too much, and she blamed him for bringing her here. But the most alarming thing, even when the casino is half empty, there is this odd tension everywhere. Like everyone is faking that they are having a good time, but they are actually just miserable. It is in their eyes. People walk by the penny slots and do not even pause. They used to grin at the sounds, drop in a $20 just to get the buzz. Now it seems like nobody believes they will win a thing. And, frankly, they are not mistaken. Corporate has tightened down everything. Tighter machines, higher table minimums. You once could find $5 blackjack at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Now it is $25 just to play. For many folks, that is their entire budget for the night. You know who I no longer see. The Midwest retirees, the bingo ladies, the old-timers who talk with you about the stardust or buy you coffee if they saw you on a long shift. They quit coming. I asked one gentleman, a regular for 15-plus years, why he had not returned. He said, "Vegas doesn't want folks like me anymore." And I believe he is right. The city is chasing whales, high rollers from abroad, tech bros, crypto millionaires. That is who they are building this for. Suites bottle service private tables with $1,000 minimums. Everything else is just smoke and mirrors to make the casino floor look occupied for the cameras. But you cannot sustain a city on whales alone. You require the working class people, the families, the dreamers. That is what always kept Vegas alive, and they are disappearing. Or worse, they are here and they feel like ghosts. I still perform my job. I maintain the peace. I patrol the floor with my head high. But some nights, it feels like I am guarding a memory instead of an actual casino. This is not the Vegas I agreed to, and I am starting to doubt if it is ever returning. That is all the stories I have got for you today. Even just voicing them like that gave me the creeps. It almost seems like that one person who was once your best friend getting hopelessly hooked on illicit substances and never being the same. He is still present, might even appear okay, but deep inside that old buddy of yours is gone and he is not returning. You care about him. You love him. You would do anything to assist him in getting better, but he refuses to be helped. And deep down, you realize it is a hopeless situation. I wish I could be more positive about the future of Vegas, but I am truly not so sure, guys. I have many people I've built connections with over the years who are still residing and working on the Strip, including a few higher-ups who really grasp the ins and outs of what is truly happening. And the stories I've shared today are just scratching the surface of how terrible it has become. I am sorry if I am being a pessimist, but for right now, the best way I can handle this is to keep telling stories of the good old days. Crazy winds, crazy people, crazy nights in the craziest city. I will keep addressing the topic of the death of Vegas, but I surely want to ensure we offset that with some positivity about Vegas's glory era. Hopefully it will return someday. If you have not yet, please subscribe to show support for my work. Words cannot convey how much I value your viewership and watching this far. Sorry once more for being such a downer here at the end. I will return to my cheerful old self in the next video. Thanks for watching.